Hello everyone, this is Matthew Frailey with the BreakpointTrades.com. In this video, I'm going to do an extensive technical analysis review of the markets and our trading systems, and of course it is post-election. It's November 6th. And as you know, boy oh boy, what a night, what a day. Obviously I don't need to tell you about the election, but Trump won and the market just had one hell of a rally today. Dow Jones gained over 1,500 points, or 3.6%. S&P 146 points, or 2.5%. The Russell IWM small caps gained 5.8%. Guys, these are massive moves for a week, and this is one day. Again, as far as the market, we favored the pullback being a wave 4. We were looking for a rally to a new high in a wave 5. The S&P held its 50-day moving average, and it was off to the races. We also had some systems go long. Our KISS systems, of course, have been long. So again, a lot to talk about, but we'll get back to that. Again, my name is Matthew Frailey. I founded Breakpoint Trades back in 2003, 21 years ago, to provide the best technical analysis on the planet. Awesome trade ideas, market analysis, and of course, amazing mechanical trading systems, which are my passion. We've had some amazing system trades. Just recently, we have our KISS systems. We have an active trading community. We post 5 detailed newsletters a week, actionable trade ideas, dozens of those. We have an active community. I send trade notifications to our systems. Again, if you're just a YouTube subscriber, you should consider joining us. It's great. I think you'll profit greatly if you do. Okay, let's go ahead and get back to this detailed newsletter video at hand. I'm going to get this recorder started. This is for our back-end recorder for our website subscription service. So I'm going to start this now. Hello everyone, this is Matthew Frailey with BreakpointTrades.com. This is the Wednesday, November 6th newsletter. As you know, boy oh boy, what a night, what a day. Obviously, I don't need to tell you about the election. Trump won. Last night, as Trump continued to gain ground, index futures screamed higher and higher. I'm sure a lot of you were watching that. ES futures, in fact, by the morning were up 130 points. The Dow futures were up over 1,000. Well, even with those large numbers, with a large gap up on the indexes still continued to rally pretty much all day. At the close, the Dow gained over 1,500 points, 3.6%. The S&P gained about 150 points, up 2.5%. Nasdaq gained about 3%. And the Russell, that's the small caps, gained 5.8%, guys. Guys, those are big numbers for a whole week. And this is just one day. Again, I'm sure a lot of you are tired. We're up late. I know I barely slept, kept getting up and looking at stuff and whatever. But anyway, crazy, heck of a day for the market. And honestly, with Trump winning, not surprised at the reaction. Bitcoin had a massive day. And that was also well known that on a Trump win, Bitcoin would have a massive day. And like I said, guys, on that pullback in the market for the last 2.5 weeks, we favored that as a wave 4. What we didn't know is if it would get a little deeper or not, but the S&P held that 50-day moving average I've been talking about. And of course, it was off to the races. The S&P 500 closed at 59.25. That is very close to the round number of 6,000. All right. Actually closed at 59.30. So it's only 70 points away from the round number of 6,000. So that is obviously now a magnet, right? Now, do we go straight there off a pullback first? We'll see. Short term on a 15-minute chart of the S&P, I can count 5 small waves up with some divergence, so we are quite stretched, obviously. Some other things, huge rally today in the US dollar, up 1.6%. That has got to be the largest one-day move in the dollar I've seen. And of course, we also saw big moves higher in the 10-year Treasury yield. That didn't affect the market, of course. Now, what it all did affect, gold. Huge sell-off in gold and precious metals. Not surprising. I've been looking for this big wave 4 pullback to start. That area was quite parabolic. And that big rally in the dollar was the nail in coffin. Again, over time, though, this will be a buying opportunity. But if this is the start of this wave 4, I'd expect this to take some time. Now, tomorrow, guys, Thursday, FOMC at 2 p.m. That's a big one. That's going to be highly scrutinized. So don't forget about that. Today we had on the systems, besides all the KISS systems, we had the breakout system go long. And then yesterday, actually, the RSI 40 went long, which I'll discuss in a minute. So let's go ahead and talk about the systems, then we'll get back to the general market at hand. So first image below, item number 2, this image shows you our mean reversion systems. Okay. And all these systems went long last week. They caught nice trades. Now, most of these mean reversion systems closed yesterday. They made money, but then of course we had the big pop today. Again, wish they would have held an extra day, but it is what it is. That's why we have the KISS systems. The KISS systems are there to catch the longer term uptrends, stay long as possible. But the mean reversion systems, they're not trying to stay in the market for long periods of time. They get in, they see a trade opportunity, they get out. Okay. So anyone following those mean reversion systems, again, I sent out trade notifications to our subscribers. You made money. That said, today the breakout system went long. Yes, market's already quite extended, but that's what it does. It's the breakout system. It's just what it sounds. The breakout system is going to go long when things are overbought. It is what it is, but regardless, about 8 out of 10 trades work. So it generally works out over time. Now, one thing I want to mention here, the RSI 40 system actually took a long yesterday. Unfortunately, for the website, I missed that and I didn't send it out. I didn't see it till late last night. It was too late to send it. I apologize for that. I already commented about it today. But again, you can see that trade would have worked out massively and it's still continuing to hold. So apologize for that, guys. But, we have so many systems here. We have 21 mean reversion systems, and it's 42 systems if you count it across SPY and ES instruments. We have, all the KISS systems on 750 items. We have the high performance KISS systems. We got these volatility systems, all kinds of stuff. But anyway, that triggered, unfortunately. Heck of a move, though, on that system. Let's take a look at the statistics for these. So image number 3, here is the SPY breakout statistics. This goes back to 1995, so it's a long history. And 133 total trades. Like I said, about 79% winning trades, so roughly 8 out of 10 trades have made money historically. Profit factor of 9.2. Decent profit curve, and average hold time is about 22 to 24 days. So one of the longer mean reversion system holds. And image number 4. So here's the RSI 40 system that went long in MES futures yesterday at the close. Then of course we had the big election pop, etc. But amazing stats on this system. Profit factor of 44.5. That's pretty damn impressive. That means for every dollar it lost, it made $44. That's an easy way to think of profit target. Total number of trades, only 40 trades. Again, going back to 1997, as you can see. So it's a condition that doesn't trigger that often, but 95% of the time it's made money. This one holds for about an average of 11 to 12 days. Okay. Again, I apologize that I missed sending that RSI 40 system out. Won't happen again. But, I do like, that said, I'm still going to track this on our website just because I like to, track these systems and how they do so, that they're not back-tested results, that we have real trades. All right, let's go ahead and move back to the general market newsletter at hand. So image number 5 below, here's the index sector table, what transpired today. Again, look at these massive gains, guys. Again, these are massive. This is generally you would see in a week. This is one day. Russell up 5.8% today. S&P up 150 points, Dow up 1,500 points. New all-time highs. Round number for 6,000 on the S&P is only 70 points away. Out of the 21 market sectors, interestingly, not every sector was up today. Defensive sectors were down, like drugs and utilities. Now, home builders, real estate was down. Not surprising with that, ramp up on the 10-year, 30-year treasury yields. The 30-year mortgage is up to 6.8%, I think. Biggest gain today was banks, up 10.7%, financial 6%, brokers 8%, oil services 9%. So big moves there. Currencies, US dollar up 1.6%. Like I said, that's the biggest one-day gain I've seen for the dollar. And cryptocurrencies, Bitcoin, of course, massive day. We all knew that would rally big on a Trump rally. It's up 9.5% today, up over 10% this week. Commodities, Index down 1.1%, still up for the week, 1.2%. Crude oil down about a quarter. Natural gas managed to bounce back up 2.7%. It's in a wedge pattern, which I'll show you. Copper had a big dump today, down 4.8%. That's likely due to that big rally in the dollar. Okay. And the precious metals got absolutely pummeled. Not surprised. That area has been parabolic, especially gold. So, with that big rally in the dollar, stuff like that, overdue for a correction there. And the stocks have been underperforming there, as you know, they tend to lead. In the bond market, big move up higher in the 10-year, 30-year Treasury yields, guys. Didn't affect the market, though. And finally, image number 6. Remember, FOMC tomorrow, 2 p.m. Eastern. That's the big one, all right? And before that, of course, you have initial jobless claims, etc. in the morning. All right, let's go and jump to the charts. So, first chart below, item number 7. This shows you the daily chart of the 5 key major indexes. We like to show this, one of the first charts. Again, look at these massive moves, guys. Indexes ramped. Dow, huge day, closing above its upper Bollinger Bands, new all-time high. Same for the S&P. Nasdaq, remember the July highs were a magnet. That was finally slightly taken out today. And of course, the Russell, remember I've shown it in this ascending triangle pattern. Hopefully you were long before today. Huge move up. Next, chart number 8. Here's the Dow Jones. It's 30 stocks. We don't show it that often, but again, you can see here, big update. Here added a channel to monitor. And on a new high here, which we're making a new high, notice the MACD is lagging quite a bit, so it's likely to set up some sort of divergence. Next, image number 9. So this is right from the KISS systems on the website. Remember, the standard KISS systems retrack across 750 stocks on all these baskets. We also have the high performance, but as far as the standard KISS systems, we have them running on all the Dow Jones 30 stocks. So since we just looked at the Dow, here's on the Dow, you had all these new smart trailing stops today. Really nice gains on a lot of these. Amazon, this trades up 10.8%. Caterpillar up 14.8%. Goldman Sachs up 19.6%. You can see all these other nice gains. You can see quite a few are flat still, like IBM and Honeywell and Boeing, which have been downtrending, right? So anyway, these are live. These aren't back tested. These have occurred real time on the system. These are something you could certainly follow. That's another reason, guys, to be a subscriber, so you can have access to these KISS systems. Nothing else. This doesn't exist anywhere else but Breakpoint. This is a proprietary thing I developed. Okay, amazing stuff. Wish I had this 20 years ago. Next. Moving to the S&P 500, chart number 10, here's the weekly S&P. Again, massive update. You can see it rallied right off that demand zone. Again, as I talked in my last newsletter, what I didn't know is, was it going to lose that and pull back more before it bottomed? Again, we were looking for a higher low, wave 4, but, the election was the catalyst news and it rallied off that demand zone. So now, let's watch this channel. Likely target is 6,000 and the upper channel line of this channel. Next, chart number 11, here's the daily KISS system. This is the high performance system. And again, remember, this stayed long. Price did get close to its smart trailing stop, but didn't hit it. See that? Smart trailing stop was at 56.56. System went back long in early August. It's been a good trade. And, stayed long, and it's reaping the rewards. You can see how the moving BPTMA was pinched into the ribbon on a bullish configuration. It's now wrecked green. But you can see how well the KISS system has done. It's really caught this major uptrend from the October low of 2023 very well. Look, it stayed in all these uptrends, got out a little bit, then got right back in. It's done a damn good job. Next, chart number 12, here's the 4 time frame. So on the daily up here, upper left, you have those support cycles the last several days. Remember, these cycles tend to be quite powerful. That's your support cycle. We were holding that, launched right off of it. Obviously, we're above the ATR on all the time frames. The one thing I will note, look at the 78-minute here. Moving average ribbon is pretty wide now. You got a DeMark 9 there. So things are stretched here. That's why if we get a little pullback, short term wouldn't shock me. Just we are kind of stretched. Next, chart number 13, here's the standard daily S&P. Again, this wave count we've been showing, this ABC wave 4 pullback in August. We've been showing this is a wave 1, 2, 3, the wave 3 and the October high there. That pullback is a wave 4 we've been showing. Again, it held this major support area and there was a demand zone there, and then boom, off to the races. So now we're in this wave 5. Remember, wave 5 will be 5 individual waves. You'll need to look at an intraday time frame to see that. But likely, again, notice how the MACD is lagging. So likely, generally, wave 5 set up some sort of MACD divergence. But I don't think it's done, like I said. 6,000 is not too far away, etc. So that's at least a short-term magnet. Next, chart 14, here's the other daily chart we've been showing. Same thing. Again, all these were projecting to new all-time highs, and those are playing out. Next, chart 15, here's the S&P with the cycle indicators. Remember, we had 2 cycles here, a shorter one and a longer one. All were converging into early this week, right, as a major timing window. And lo and behold, it happened to match right with the election, and boom. Okay. Again, this chart I've had in place for months and months. The market's been roughly following these cycles pretty well. Next, chart 16, here's a 120-minute view. So things Steve's been showing, this ABC pullback we favored as a wave ABC. And you can see the 5 waves you had down. Kind of hard to see it here on the labeling. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Anytime you have 5 waves, I want to pay attention for a reversal. We also had the 38% fib here, and we rallied right off of it. Now we got an open gap here. Chart 17, here's another 60-minute. Here's a 60-minute chart. Remember last week we broke down from that coil, formed a little divergent low there, bottom in yesterday. Now, as far as the short-term wave count, what I see here on this time frame is 1, 2, 3. So this is clearly a wave 3. Remember, your wave 3s are your big impulse waves. And clearly, let's be honest, guys. Today was one hell of an impulse. So this is a wave 3 of some sort. So eventually we're going to get a wave 4 pullback, but that should be another buying opportunity. Look to buy that, then we get another push higher in a 5, at least to that 6,000 area. Question is, do we go to 6,000 now on this wave 3 or pull back first in a wave 4, then go to 6,000 in a wave 5? We'll see. And chart 18, here's a 15-minute chart. So on the 15-minute chart, you can count 5 waves. Like I said, this is 5 waves likely of the 3. We do have some active divergence here. So we'll see what happens tomorrow. Again, futures are basically flat tonight at the moment. Next, chart 19, moving to the Qs. Here's the Qs KISS system, high performance. And just like the S&P, this didn't hit its smart trailing stop on that pullback. Got close to it, but it didn't tag to 479. Well, today we got a new smart trailing stop, jumps up to 483.75. So KISS system's doing their job. Just ratcheting those stops up, keeping you protected, keeping your gains locked in. Love it. Next, chart 20, here's the 4 time frames. One thing I pointed out to Steve yesterday was you had a cycle support there. You can see the little dot. It's hard to see it here. Magenta, the cyan color, it matches the ATR, but it was right there, and boom, lo and behold, rallied off of it. You could see how we had the support cycle in the half day, 130-minute chart, etc. On the 78-minute, just like in the S&P, you have a mark 9. So short term, bit extended. Next, chart 21, here's the daily triple Qs standard chart. Remember, we held that demand zone, 50-day moving average on that last pullback. That July highs where the S&P had taken out, but the Qs did not. That was always a magnet, so finally we took that out. New all-time highs. Next, chart 22, here's a 60-minute chart. I'm showing kind of an expanded coil here, but wouldn't pay a ton of attention to that. But we are quite stretched here short term. But just like on the S&P, what I see here is wave 1, 2, 3. So this is clearly wave 3 of some sort. Sometime soon we'll get a wave 4 pullback. And chart 23, here's a 15-minute view. You can see we held that demand zone the last several days. Just like on the S&P, we're a bit stretched here with a little MACD divergence on that time frame. And finally, chart 24, here's IWM small caps, up 5.8% today. Massive day. Look at that. We've had this drawn as ascending triangle. We have been on record for weeks on end that we were looking for a new high. Well, that clearly played out, folks, didn't it? And chart 25, here's the IWM 30-minute chart. Steve showed this last night. I didn't see it until today. I had to laugh J-Lo bottom. Hilarious. Obviously, pretty good bottom, wasn't it? So I had to troll Steve a little bit. I hold on a minute. I hope none of you guys get offended. So I had to add that image. If you're this you're on the web page newsletter, you don't see this. You need to be on YouTube. Again, don't cancel me, please. It's all in good fun. All right. Anyway, I just thought it was hilarious. He labeled that JLo bottom. All right, guys, that does it for the indexes. Let's go ahead and move on. So here's the VIX, just showing this tonight. So VIX closed back below its lower Bollinger Band. So that's obviously something to be aware of now, guys, okay? It is below its lower Bollinger Bands. So a close back inside actually would be a short-term sell signal in the market. But clearly these VIX Bollinger Band buy signals have worked fantastic. Look at these. All these have worked really nicely. I mean, we just had one last Friday. Great long once again, wasn't it? Next, chart 27, here's high yield corporate bonds. So this did hold that supply zone. Now finally starting to break here. It's still lagging the S&P. It still hasn't taken out that high, but it's starting to breach this trend line now. MACD's recycle back to the euro, curling up. Moving average ribbon is pinching. Looks like it wants to curl up. Next, chart 28, here's TLT 20-year bonds. Remember, they had a big gap down today. So here I edited the chart, put a steep downtrend channel. I put the wave count back on. Wave 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Maybe this is a wave 5 of some sort. You do have a little MACD divergence building now here. Some pretty big spike in volume, so maybe some capitulatory action. TMF would be the leverage way to play a bounce on that. And then here's the 10-year Treasury yield. Again, it continues to make new highs. Still not spooking the market, though. The 30-year mortgage is up near 6.8% now, so that's came up quite a bit. Anyway, big move on the 10-year. And here's the weekly chart. Just continues to play out. Remember, I drew this ABC pattern early this year. I was looking for a support in that demand zone. And boy, has that played out. All right, guys, moving on to the market sectors. So, chart 31, banks. This was the biggest sector today, up 10.7%. Look at that gain. Holy cow. Again, I had this drawn as a completed ABCDE bullish ascending triangle pattern nearly a month ago and played out, didn't it? Next, here's the bank. Here's the financials. Same deal. Kind of have a flag pattern here. I pointed out that ascending triangle, though, about a month ago. Big moves in these areas. Chart 33, just in a few other sectors. Not going to go through all the sectors, guys. Here's XOK Technology. Nice bounce today. It's actually retested this little trend line. Still hasn't taken out that last high and, of course, the July high. So it's still been lagging a bit. That's probably a magnet over time. Chart 34, semiconductors. This is also continues to lag up today, but still well off those all-time highs. Never filled that open gap up there. So on a break of this trend line, filling that gap would be my first target. And chart 35, biotech, that's had a nice last couple days. Remember, this tends to move with small caps. Look at that volume today. So, I would expect this to continue to work higher. And of course, the move up in rates, not helping the housing market. Here's IYR Real Estate. Showed that the other day. So far, we have three-wave pullback. I said it would be better if it got into this demand zone. So getting closer to it now. And one sector, guys, that interests me is the energy area. Here's XLE. It's been consolidating here for 7 months sideways, essentially. That's why I put this box here showing the big range. Big move up today. Obviously, Trump is, what's the word? I'm forming a blank, but he's obviously nice to energy companies, so probably part of that. But guys, this big range though, this consolidation is building energy, so this could be setting up for a monster move to the upside eventually. Here's the weekly chart. Nice coil pattern, really looks quite awesome. And here's oil services, up 9% today. Big move. Now, here testing a little parallel channel line. And finally, here is the weekly. So it held that long-term support. Now we'll see if this goes eventually starts a new rally to go to all-time highs. I think the energy sector is an interesting area, guys. All right, moving on to commodities. Here's DBC, which was up 1.2% today. And let me look at one other thing here. This is the weekly. It's up 1.2% for the week. It is down 1% today. But again, it's still been stuck in this range, as you know, for the last 2 years. Chart 42, here's crude oil, which again, slightly down today. No changes in the pattern. Same as I showed last time. Chart 43, here's natural gas, slightly up. Remember, last video I showed this falling wedge. So that's something to monitor. We have natural gas inventories on Thursday. Chart 44, here's copper. Big dump in copper. Look at that. Slicing right through the trend line, 50-day moving average, 200-day moving average. That big rally in the US dollar obviously affecting that. Chart 45, DBA, been pulling back. It's back into this demand zone. So we'll see. Is that last low a completed ABC? Or, if we were to take that out, it clearly wouldn't be. And chart 46, here's palladium. Remember, I like this one longer term, but so far it's pulled back pretty nicely off that supply zone, especially with precious metals. Watch the broken down trend line here again, see if that offers support. Chart 47, I meant to remove this. This is the platinum ETF that I've been monitoring, kind of this complex inverse head and shoulder pattern. Notice it did find support at its 200-day moving average today. Okay, let's move to Bitcoin. Here's Bitcoin weekly. Nice pop this week, up almost 10%, new all-time highs. Where is this going? Well, shoot, maybe it goes to 100,000 now. Remember, we've been favoring a new high in wave 5, and that is playing out. Chart 49, here's the daily chart. This added this uptrend channel. Huge pop today after the Trump rally, or Trump win. Pulling back a little bit off the channel, but looks fine. Chart 50, here's IBIT, Bitcoin ETF. Hope you guys been long this. Obviously, big move here, up 9.9% today. Notice you got that last higher low there. Excellent move there. And chart 51, here's BITX. That's the leveraged play. You can see up 19.5%. Guys, these look great. I see no reason to sell them. Next, chart 52, US dollar. Man, US dollar up again this evening. Big day today. It's up here again. Paused recently at that resistance, but came right back up. Chart 53, here's the weekly view. Remember, I showed that big support level, month and a half ago, 2 months ago, rallied right off of that. Here's a very short-term chart, 15-minute view of the dollar, kind of a head and shoulder look. But again, this is only a 15-minute chart, guys. Unless this breaks down, this will easily be negated. Now let's look at the precious metals. Here's gold, big old dump today, down 73 bucks, losing that trend line that I've had in place. Still above its 50-day moving average. Remember, we had the RSI, MACD divergence. If we lose that 50-day, next target would be the uptrend line. And chart 56, here's the weekly view. Remember, gold has been going parabolically. Parabolic moves are unsustainable. And so I've been looking for this to end, this wave 3 of 5. Still, you can't say that it's started this wave 4 yet, but likely it has. Notice last week's doji, that set up that little top. Anyway, I am looking for this as a wave 4. And if this is a wave 4, it should be a deeper pullback. I mean, this could come down to, shoot, it could even come down to the 2,400 range, 2,300. But honestly, that would be a great buying opportunity, okay? Remember, guys, in my newsletter, I've been showing the inverse gold ETF for the last couple weeks. Well, if any of you bought that at least as a hedge, it's playing out now. Talking about silver, nice dump in silver today, not surprising. Losing that channel in the 50-day moving average. Here is the monthly chart of silver. Remember, I like longer term, but it's likely pull back here for a while. Longer term, though, once it's ended, I think silver still makes all-time highs. So that's my longer-term view. Chart 60, GDX, the gold miner, has been selling off the last 3 weeks. Stocks have been underperforming, right? Now, notice you had an open gap here, which it nearly filled today. That was a magnet. Jarbor 61 Dust, that's the double inverse ETF or GDX. I've been showing this wedge pattern for the last couple weeks. Hope some of you bought that near the wedge, bottom of the wedge. It's had a nice move. Now, guys, let's look at trade ideas. All right, we've had some monsters, but quite honestly, you could have been long almost anything today and made money if you had it coming in today. So here's Amazon. Nice pattern, nice breakout today. Jarbor 63, here's Google. Remember they had earnings a couple weeks ago, popped on that, pulled back, but I said it looked good still. It was a light volume pullback into support. Nice pop today. Now some of the trade ideas we've had, ECVT. This was a long idea of mine last week. It triggered late last week off the bottoming pattern. It hit my initial target, fill in the gap. These gap fills are always a target. Up again today. Now perhaps the next target is that gap above, or at least the 200-day moving average. But again, one hell of a percentage move. Great example of our actionable trade ideas. Here's another one, Rocket Lab, Elon Musk, competitor, whatever. I had it as a long idea way back here in July. Well, look at this sucker since. Jarbor 66, Caribou. Another long idea I put out on the weekend. Low price stock, had nice volume coming out of a base. My first target was this 275. Congrats for those of you who caught that. Excellent move percentage wise. Another one, Jarbor 67, SNCY. Another beauty. Long idea that had resistance at 1075, 3 weeks ago. And look at that percentage move. Jarbor 68 Court. This was a long idea of mine last week. I said over 50 would be a new trade, and it's giving you that. Jarbor 69 MMSI, another nice one from last week. Now starting to move. Took out that recent high. Looked great. Looked like a fourth wave consolidation. Jarbor 70 Trip. Remember, guys, my target on Trip was at least this horizontal line. Trigger was back here around the low 15s. Another nice trade. You see my point, guys? Trade ideas have been awesome. I hope some of you guys are doing these because we take the time to scan and look at these and draw them out. And if none of you are doing them, why am I wasting my time? So please try to do some of these. Anyway, here's LICY, another beauty from last week. I mean, it rallied all the way to 200-day moving average yesterday, nearly doubling. Just awesome trades, guys. IBRX, another one. Now, this did bounce off its 9 EMA yesterday, which is what I was looking for. Originally, though, 2 weeks ago, we had it as a long back here on this bottoming pattern, and it doubled. So you had a second opportunity to buy it at the 9 EMA there. Jarbor 73 MBLY is another one we've had on the list recently. I said the other day it looked like it was bull flagging, and you can see, look at the volume patterns. This still looks really good to me. Jarbor 74 BX was a coil I had on Monday, popped today. Jarbor 75 RGB, another one from Monday, popped a little bit. Here's some that haven't went. Here's Starbucks. Still has ascending triangle pattern. Still holding the pattern for now. Hasn't triggered. Jarbor 77, here's Intel. Well, Intel obviously triggered. Remember this? I put it out on the weekend. I said it looked good. Well, nice bounce yesterday. Nice pop today. Still looks really good to me. You can see how tightly wound the ribbon still is. That means the energy is built up. And Jarbor 78 RXRX has been on the list for a while. Still a very valid setup. It held that coil support. Volume picked up today. This looks like it could break out. All right, guys, that'll do it. Let's see what happens tomorrow. Again, crazy stuff. Quick check on futures. ES futures are up 2 points. Gold is down 20 points, so gold continues to weaken. All right, guys, have a wonderful rest of your evening. If you're just a YouTube viewer, please consider subscribing. I think you'll be impressed, and you could write into us. We can give you a personal tour, help you out, etc. We're a nice, active community, and I think you'll like it. All right, have a good evening. Get some sleep tonight, everyone. Take care.